it's Stargirl, and welcome to another one of my pick a card readings. Today we're going to figure out where will you be 5 years from now. Before we get started, I just want to give a quick shout out to my sponsors, Amino Apps. Amino Apps is a mobile network of communities for literally any interest you can think of. One of my favorite communities on Amino Apps is the Pagan and Witches community. On here you can find everything from money spells, love spells, how to make your first altar, how to use crystals, herbs, and candles to manifest whatever it is you desire. It's just a really cool community where you can meet with like-minded individuals who are also into the craft. You can also chat with other people in the groups, live chat or text chat, whatever you prefer. And I know a lot of you always have questions for me on how you can get into witchcraft or how you can develop your spirituality, and Amino Apps is just a really great place where you can get tips and inspiration on how to do that, because the community is so vast, so large, and so friendly. When you do download the app, be sure to add me at Stargirl.thepracticalwitch, and once you add me, post something on my profile, post some spells that you think I'd like. I will be commenting and replying to my favorite ones. In order to get started, all you have to do is click on the link I provide down below in the description box to download the app completely for free on Android or iPhone. Once you download the app, be sure to join the Pagan and Witches community, and I'm really excited to network and communicate with you guys on there. So with that, let's go ahead and get started on the video. Alright, in order to get started, I need you to pick one of the 5 groups. This is group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5. I ask that you pick with your intuition and not your eyes. Once you've picked a group, you can fast forward to the timestamp I'll provide down below to see what your results are. Alright, group number 1. Let's see where you will be in 5 years. So one thing that's really calling out to me is the fact that you have the Temperance card. The Temperance card pretty much means that you are going to be doing your highest soul's purpose. So everyone has a highest soul's purpose. Everyone has a reason that they were brought here on this earth. The goal is to be doing that highest soul's purpose and be making money. And I see you finally in 5 years doing your highest soul's calling as a job and being on the right path spiritually and in what you're supposed to be doing in the world. With the Queen of Swords, this tells me you're going to be very business-minded in 5 years, which means you're going to be very focused on your career and your life purpose. So your life purpose will be your career in 5 years, and you will be very, very focused on it. And this will be something that consumes your life and something that you're very passionate about and something that you're always going to be thinking about. So for those of you who don't know what they're going to do career-wise and you picked group number 1, this is a really good sign, because you will be doing something you're passionate about, something that consumes your every thought, and something you truly believe in. And because you're going to be on your highest soul's purpose, you are going to be divinely supported by the angels, as you see from Temperance. You will be divinely supported by your spirit guides. Another thing I'm seeing is that your confidence will be at an all-time high. So if you're someone right now who's struggling with feeling confident in themselves or feeling confident in what you're doing, because you will be following your highest soul's purpose, you're going to be very sure of yourself. You're going to be confident in the way you look. You're going to be confident in your personality, the way you carry yourself. You're just going to have an air of confidence because you know you're doing what you're meant to be doing, and you know you're the best at it. So that's really positive, especially if you're someone who struggles with self-esteem issues. Now, another thing I'm seeing is work is going to kind of consume your life in the next 5 years, or 5 years from now, work will be the center of your life. And because of that, other relationships might be suffering. Now, I'm not saying if you're in a loving, committed relationship right now, that's going to end. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is you are going to be so focused on your job, your career, your goal, that there might be issues in keeping up with other relationships. And we also have the Discipline card. So I just see you being very dedicated, very focused, because it's something you're actually going to be believing in. Now, with the Knight of Swords, this also makes me feel like in 5 years you're going to have a tendency to be a workaholic. So you're going to be having a lot of late nights where you're worried about where it's all going. You're going to have a lot of late nights working hard. You're going to be working very, very hard during this time. And because of this, other things might start to suffer, unfortunately. But just remember to keep in mind everything is a balance, as we can see from the Temperance card. And 5 years from now, even though it's great, you're going to be on your highest soul's path, try not to neglect other areas of your life as well, and trust the universe to bring you more creativity and more positivity. Another thing I'm noticing with the cosmos and childhood is that you might actually have a child. When I think of the moon, I think of feminine energy, and then we have childhood innocence. So by that time, you might be a mother or father, and you might have invited a new life into this world. And actually, another message that I'm picking up on is the reason for all this conflict and all of this stress in your life might be due to a new family and the fact that you're juggling this amazing, amazing career. So there's that as well. Oh, I'm also seeing, this is a general reading, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up everything that I'm seeing. I'm seeing that we're going to be a little bitter in love around this time too. So remember how I was saying that you will be very focused on your life purpose, and because of that, other relationships might start to suffer. I'm almost seeing in 5 years, an issue in your romantic relationships where you're not putting in a lot of time for romance, and you might actually be bitter in love during this time as well. So keep an eye out for that. And remember, nothing I say that's negative is meant to scare you or is meant to be like, oh, that's the end of your marriage or your relationship. I'm just saying watch out for this in 5 years, because in 5 years you will be so focused on your career and your life purpose. If you are not careful, your other relationships, especially your romantic relationships, might start to suffer. Well, I'm also seeing that it's a very good possibility that you might actually move home closer to family. That's another message I'm picking up on. And I'm also seeing that, let's see. I'm trying to figure out if I can pinpoint an exact location of where you could possibly live. Right now I'm just seeing it's likely you're going to move home closer to family, and like I said, it might be because of a new child that comes into your life. And I know some of you are like, I would never live close to my family, I don't know what you're talking about, but it's 5 years from now, so you have to remember things change. But I see for some reason you moving closer to a family member. I'm also seeing that there's going to be a lot of stress in your life, and one of the ways you are going to let out that stress is physical activity. So I'm actually picking up the fact that in 5 years from now you might be a little bit of a health and exercise nut. I'm definitely getting that as well. Like someone who plans out their meals, goes to the gym on planned times. Definitely seeing that with all this discipline that's happening right now. And that's a really positive thing, especially if you're someone who doesn't really exercise or watch what they eat right now. Let's see what else. That's all I'm getting for this group. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. Group number 2, let's see where you will be 5 years from now. So one thing that's really interesting is you have the High Priestess. So this tells me you're going to be, I mean, some of you may already be into spirituality, and spirituality might already be a big point of in your life, but 5 years from now, spirituality is going to consume your life. So this might mean you might be a life coach, a tarot reader, a healer. You're going to be doing something with the majority of your day that has to do with spirituality. I'm also seeing that your psychic ability is going to be at an all-time high for some reason. I don't know if you've evolved spiritually during this time. I don't know if you've done a lot of spiritual work, but spiritually and emotionally, you're going to be at your strongest, and your intuition is going to be at its strongest, because we also have the Hawk Prince, spirit communication and paying attention. And not only that, we also have psychic protection. So 5 years from now, your spirit guides, or maybe it's someone who's passed away who is really close to you, is going to be communicating with you a lot. They are going to be trying to get your attention. They're going to be protecting you. I see you're going to be very much in tune with the beings in the higher dimensions, or you're going to be, I'm like just really picking up someone who's going to be working as a psychic or a healer, an energy healer, a life coach or something. Your whole life will be revolved around spirituality and self-improvement, and that is absolutely amazing. I also see you owning your own business. So this could have anything to do with, like I said, the spiritual side of things, but I see you owning and being in control of your own time. Another thing I'm seeing is there's going to be a lot of creativity and inspiration for you during this time. You are going to be brimming in creative energy, and I'm seeing that there's going to actually be a really good balance with the balance card of that creative, raw energy and that confidence to get things done, and also your imagination. So with the Seven of Cups, a lot of the time, this means our head is in the clouds. We have a lot of creative energy and a lot of creative options, but we're not able to ground ourselves to make it a reality. But I actually see a balance in 5 years from now where you're able to take all those creative energies, all of those psychic energies, all of those great ideas, and actually ground them and balance the both things so that you're actually doing great things in your life. And I'm seeing that you're going to be divinely supported and divinely protected 5 years from now in pretty much anything you will be doing. And also to really pay attention 5 years from now, because someone's spirit guides are going to be in their ear. So 5 years from now, something really big that has to do with your highest soul's purpose, or has something to do with your spiritual gifts and abilities, for those of you who are psychic and intuitive, is really going to come to play in 5 years. This could be helping people move on, helping people get on the right path, but you're going to be very divinely supported during this time. So it's very good to look out for that. With the Six of Swords, I see 5 years from now, you will actually be moving somewhere further away from where you are now, possibly overseas travel, or possibly to a completely new place. I definitely don't see you staying where you are right now. Let's see what else. Let's see what else am I seeing. Oh, I'm also seeing that it's quite possible you might be getting some social media recognition. And nowadays, like I was saying before, you are likely going to own your own business. And nowadays, a lot of business has to do with social media. So I'm also seeing you getting a lot of social media following because of your business, and I see your business thriving. Now, one thing I'm seeing is, I actually think that you're going to, because of your high intuition that's going to be happening in 5 years, a lot of the times when we have high intuition and we're very empathetic, like you will be, we are very susceptible to feeling energies. And when we're in cities, we pick up a lot of different energies, and it's very overwhelming. So for you, I'm actually seeing that you're going to live in a countryside. You're going to live somewhere that's not overly populated. And I know if you're young, you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? I want to live in a city. I've always wanted to live in a city, and I get that. I've been there when I was younger, but I specifically see for you in 5 years being over the city thing, being really susceptible to energy, and sort of living somewhere where you're a little more secluded. And I also see in 5 years there's going to be something that makes you quite vulnerable to psychic attack, or you're going to be very vulnerable in general. Now, I don't know, it's because you open your third eye, you're evolving seriously as a spirit, but because of that, your spirit guides are going to be protecting you extra during this time. I don't know why, but for some reason, you're going to be extra vulnerable to attack, and your spirit guides are going to have to keep an eye on you more often than usual. There's also a possibility of a karmic relationship coming into play, as I'm seeing with the King of Wands. So this might actually be a karmic relationship, or a karmic friendship might come into your life trying to drain your energy, and maybe that is why your spirit guides will be looking after you. But I'm definitely seeing some sort of drama. Now with the Six of Swords, this could also mean that you will be just coming out of like a really big growing experience, learning experience. That might be why you spiritually evolved a lot, and because of that, you will be extra vulnerable and need more assistance from your spirit guides. So you will be coming out stronger on the other side of a big hardship. That's another thing I'm seeing as well. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and move on from that one. All right, group number 3, let's see where you will be in 5 years. So one of the good things is with the 4 of Wands, I see that you're going to be happily married, or you're going to be very much in love with your soulmate, someone you are truly, truly meant to be with in this life, someone that this could be an ultimate lifetime soulmate or a twin flame. I'm not sure. I can't differentiate. But you will be with the person it is likely you are going to die next to. And there's going to be some kind of big celebration. Now, this could mean moving in with that person, having a wedding with that person, having a child with that person, buying a house with that person. It could mean anything. But 5 years from now, you will be in a relationship with the one, and you will be making a big move, a big step in your relationship. And with the 6 of Cups, I think it's quite possible kids will be involved. There will be children, and they will be planned. That's another thing. I'm also seeing that it's quite possible. Let's see what else. I'm also seeing it's quite possible that an old friend, someone from your past, will be making an entryway back into your life. Now, this could be someone you knew in high school, middle school, someone you knew in college, somebody who you were good friends with back in the day. 5 years from now is going to make a re-entrance into your life, and it's going to be one of those friendships that you have for a very long time. So one of the major themes I'm seeing in group number 3 for 5 years from now is there's going to be an emphasis in your relationships. So with the other 2, it was more about career or what's going on. But for you, I see there being an emphasis in your soulmate relationships. This is when your soul family is really going to come into play. I'm talking about lifetime friendships. I'm talking about lifetime relationships as well. And I'm also seeing that around this time, you will actually have a house or a long-term place that you are going to live. So I actually see you moving for not too far from where you are now, but at least an hour away, like a drive away. Like some of the other ones I foresaw, moving across seas or moving to another country or across the state. But I actually see you just moving somewhere that's kind of close by to your childhood home, but not too close. I see you moving maybe 2 hours from where you are now or where the rest of your family lives, and actually settling down and buying a home or making that a permanent residence for actually a really long time. Now, if you're someone who likes to travel, I'm not saying that this means you won't be traveling. I'm saying that it's more you're going to find a place where you want to settle down and you will be living for a very long time. So pretty much the theme 5 years from now is you will be making things permanent, relationships and where you live. Now, I'm also seeing with the hungry ghost, obsession, scarcity consciousness, and attachment, that something you haven't addressed when you were younger is going to come back and bite you in the butt unless you start facing it now. So this could mean childhood scars. This could mean relationships with family members, relationships with good friends, something traumatic that might have happened to you when you were a child or a teenager, something that you haven't quite addressed. 5 years from now is really going to start bothering you. So I see this as a warning. If you picked group number 3, is there some skeletons you kind of shoved in your closet? Now is the time before the 5 years to take them out and really work on them, because for some reason these skeletons are really going to come out of your closet and mess with you. And this might have to do with the fact that a lot of big relationships will be happening in your life. For instance, possible children, permanent marriages, lifelong friendships. So a lot of the time when big relationships or big soul connections come into our life like that, we are forced to address some scars in our past, because that's what soulmates are for. They're brought into your life to help you heal over things you haven't fully healed about. And I think it has something to do with your childhood or something traumatic that happened to you that you need to start addressing now, so it's not like this huge blow to you 5 years from now. One thing that I am seeing is it's quite possible that you're going to be living in the suburbs. Now, those of you who are younger, I know I stressed this before, you might be like, well, no, I want to live in the city. Because when I was younger, I said the same thing. This doesn't even have to be the suburbs. It could be somewhere naturally beautiful. I see you living in nature. I see you living somewhere that has a lot of green, a lot of trees, a lot of just a lot of green surrounding you, and I think that's going to be really important to you. Your peace and quiet is going to be something really important to you, because sometimes when we're young we want to live in the cities to connect with people, but I think 5 years from now you're going to be making such deep and meaningful connections that you're not even going to want to live anywhere where there's a lot of people on network, because you'll be so happy with the souls you have in your group, if that makes sense, and you're going to want to be somewhere peaceful. I'm definitely seeing that. And another thing I'm seeing is like, you're going to be making, I know I said this is mainly about relationships, but when I see compensation and perseverance in the Chariot, is you're going to be making a great leap forward in doing something you truly wanting to do and having confidence in yourself. So that's another thing I see 5 years from now, is you being confident in your abilities and not settling for a job just because you need money. I see you being confident in yourself and actually pursuing a job that would make you happy and being confident that you can pursue it. So that's another positive thing I'm seeing as well. All right, that's all I have for you guys. So, oh, also I wanted to mention there's a lot of green in here. So I think it's very possible you all have green auras and operate from your heart chakra, which makes sense because a lot of times people with green auras actually like being around green nature because it really recharges their energy. So I'm going to go ahead and move on from that one. Group number 4, let's see where you will be 5 years from now. So one of the things is, I just want to put it out there that there are no negative stacks. I'm just really trying to help you guys or warn you guys what's going to happen so you can prepare for the future properly. One of the things I'm seeing is you're actually going to be looking to make major lifestyle changes in 5 years. You're going to want to completely change your life. I'm talking about moving to a new part of the country, changing your relationships. It's going to be, or changing your career. There's going to be a catalyst that happens in your life that pushes you to make major changes and change your life. Now, I don't know if this is relationships, I don't know if it's career, I don't know if it's family or friendships, but someone 5 years from now, or something or some situation in your life will no longer be healthy and conducive to you. And because of that, it will force you to grow as a person and change your life into a more productive one. So that's one thing that I'm definitely seeing. I'm also seeing that there might be some sort of, not issue with the law, but there might be something that happens to you 5 years from now, sorry, that helps you get into a little bit of money. Now, this could be an inheritance, or you get in an accident, and I'm not trying to scare you. It doesn't have to be a crazy accident, but you know, someone maybe hits your car, or maybe you get a divorce, or it could be positive things too. I'm not saying you're going to get a divorce or going to get in a car accident. Please don't take that out of this. I'm just giving you examples of what it could be. And unfortunately, I just can't think of anything. I mean, maybe like you sip coffee somewhere that's too hot and you get into a settlement. I don't know, but I see you getting into an amount of money legally. And you're going to use this money to completely change your life. That's one thing I'm seeing. I'm seeing that you're likely going to use the money to move. You're going to use the money to completely change careers. And you're going to be seriously considering just changing your life completely. Because I also see the Swan Queen, transformation, intuition, and patience. So I'm seeing that 5 years from now, you're going to blossom into a beautiful swan. So if you're someone who feels really awkward with the way they look right now, I'm seeing that you're going to be doing something where you are going to be the most attractive you've ever been. Now, I don't know if it's because you raise your confidence, you're doing those attraction spells, you're using the law of attraction, maybe you do something with your hair, or cosmetically you want to do, but you are going to be feeling and looking the best you ever have in your life 5 years from now. So if you're someone who feels like an ugly duckling or awkward right now, there's no need to worry, because I see 5 years from now, looks wise, you are going to be at the top of your game. Like, for instance, I thought 5 years from now, 5 years ago, I thought I was a potato, and 5 years from now, I feel like I'm doing all right. And if you're that potato, 5 years from now, you're going to be feeling really good about yourself. So that is definitely a positive. And then we have rainbow and blessings. So yes, there's going to be some sort of incident in your life that's not quite working out with the Five of Swords. I'm not going to lie to you. There's going to be something that's disappointing in your life, your career, a relationship that you are going to want to put to a bitter end. But at the end of that rainstorm comes the rainbow, comes the end of the rainbow, comes the blessings. So yes, you will be going through a major transformation. Yes, it will be hard. Yes, it will be life-shaking. But at the end of it, it'll be like, wow, it had to happen because this blessing was waiting for me. So it's definitely not all negative. This was a change that was meant to come, and it's something that's going to really benefit your life. But on the other hand, there will be an ending of your career. It could be your career, your relationship. Something will come to an end. You will trade something in your life for another blessing because this thing will no longer be working for you anyway, and it will be time to get rid of it, and you will be moving on to your better self. Now, I'm also seeing you being kind of emotionally uninvolved during this time. You might just be emotionally tired. You might be shut off emotionally. I see that too. Be careful of that. Try not to be too much of the ice queen. Try not to be too emotionally shut off, but with everything that will be going on, I sort of see why you will be. We also have destiny. So this really tells me that this was meant to happen. This is not something you can avoid. This is something you are meant to go through. So don't get mad at me. I'm just giving you a heads up. This is a challenge that is meant to come into your life to help you get on the right path of your destiny, of your life. So that's all I have for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next group. All right, group number 5. Let's see where you will be five years from now. So if you picked this group, you are going to be one of those people that is going to have a lot of money to play with. So you hit the jackpot if you pick this group. 5 years from now, you're going to have a lot of extra spending money. You are going to have all the money you finally want. Money will be no object. And with the Three of Wands, I see that you're going to hit a major accomplishment in your life. So you're probably going to be where you want career-wise. You're going to be where you want financially. And for some reason, I just got this thought that popped in my head. Your wardrobe will be where you want it to be. I don't know why that popped up, but for some reason it did. So pretty much materially, you'll have everything you want. Your bank account will be looking good. You will be traveling a lot. I see you traveling like more than once a year with the world. This is how much money you will have. I don't know how you come by this money, but I'm getting the feeling it's because you finally reached that level in your career that you want to reach, and your paycheck will finally look like how you want your paycheck to look, and financially your life will be set. You will finally be at that point in your life where you want to be right now. So let's say you have a goal for yourself of what you want. I want to make this amount of money. I want to have this. I want to have that. 5 years from now, you will have everything that you want right now. You will have accomplished it, and you will be feeling good about yourself. Now, the downside is a lot of the times when we make goals and we finally complete them, we feel empty because we completed those goals, and now we're like, what's next? And we get a little depressed and bored. I don't know why that is. I don't know why that's human nature, but a lot of the times we're happy once we meet a goal, but after that we're like, all right, what now? What now? And I see you getting a little stir crazy, a little bored, and a little ungrounded too. I'm seeing that you're going to be looking for what is next in my life. That's the negative side. Well, I don't even like to call it negative because there really are no negatives. This is just the ebb and flow of life, right? I think that's something, so your financial life is going to be really good, but there's something in your emotional life or something in your mental health wise that you're going to be grieving. And I think it's the fact that you have all of this money, you have everything you want, but for some reason, as I'm seeing with the prison wave, it's not going to be enough. For some reason, there's something missing in you. There's something you haven't addressed that's making you feel depressed and down. And even though you've accomplished all of these great things, even though you have everything you want, emotionally and spiritually, you're going to be a little void. Now, this is just a warning, so you can work on this before it happens so you can have everything. You can have wealth, mental health, spiritual growth, but I think it's something in your subconscious, as we see from the iceberg or submerged, that you haven't addressed. So this could be pain from your childhood you haven't addressed, pain from a previous relationship you haven't fully healed from and addressed, but for some reason, once you're done accomplishing your goal, and once you've accomplished your goal, your mind is going to have too much time to think, and things that you thought you shoved down in your subconscious are really going to come out and haunt you. So honestly, even though your material gains, your bank account looks good, I think it's more going to be an emotional problem, like maybe depression, anxiety, some relationship problems that are going to be more stressed and emphasized. And also, I see you in 5 years doing more spiritual growth. I see you being more interested in spirituality and mental health, because once we have, a lot of people think once you manifest wealth, then you have happiness, and that's rarely ever the case. Wealth is a distraction. The chase of wealth is a distraction, and once you've achieved that wealth and you no longer have that distraction, then it's time to work on what's in here that makes you happy, not what's out there like money. So I really see you working on that as well. And if there's any, we have another abundance card. So if you picked this group, don't worry, especially if money is an issue now, there is going to be no issue financially wise. One thing I do suggest is start working on those things maybe you've pushed down to your subconscious now. So when that time comes, you realize it's not money that fulfills you, but it's what's on the inside. So definitely start working on your mental health right now. Let's see, I'm also seeing that there's a very good chance you're going to be living in a city or by the water, because I'm getting a lot of water cards. So I see that it's very likely you're going to be living by a beach or in a city. I don't see you actually, I see you spending a lot of money on traveling. For some reason, I just don't see you buying a house just then. I see you wanting to spend more money on going places, and like traveling will be your second home, if that makes sense, or traveling on the road will be your home because you will have the resources to do that. That's all I have for right now. Thank you guys so much for watching my pick a card reading. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure reading your cards, and as usual, I will see you guys later. Bye.